Cultivating Literacy families. Today I'm going to be telling you about a comprehension strategy called Main Idea and Details. The purpose of this strategy is to help check in and make sure your child is understanding the story, as well as to teach them how to find what a story is all about and how to locate key details or important parts of a story. So in your Cultivating Literacy kit, you would have found what's called a circle map. We're going to be using that circle map to identify the main idea, which means what the story is all about, and small details, meaning the little pieces of the story. I'm going to model finding the main idea by using this story, Pete the Cat and the Missing Cupcakes. So main idea means what is the story all about? When you're finding a main idea, you need to go through the story and come up with one sentence that kind of sums up what the story is all about. I'm going to briefly read through part of this book, and I'm going to model how to find the main idea. After I've found the main idea, I'm going to write it in the center of this circle. So I'll start with the book, Pete the Cat and the Missing Cupcakes. Pete and Gus were as busy as could be. They were getting ready for the cupcake party. It started at 3. They were making cupcakes for everyone. Pete and Gus counted them just for fun. They had 10 when they were done. Oh no, hang on. Some of the cupcakes were gone. They were sure there had been 10. Pete said, maybe we need to count again. So far, I'm going to check in with myself. I see that Pete and his friend are making cupcakes. They've counted them. They had 10. Now they're missing one. They counted the cupcakes lined up straight. Now there were only 8. It looked like someone had taken 2, but who? Pete and Gus did not know what to do. Just then they found a clue. Gus said, "Look what I have found. Sprinkles on the ground. I bet it was Squirrel. She loves sprinkles." Squirrel said, "It wasn't me. It couldn't be. I've been at the spelling bee." Uh-oh. More cupcakes are missing. Come and see. So, seeing that as we continue on, Pete has made cupcakes. They're starting to go missing. We can see that in the illustrations and the text. They're asking, who is taking these? They're finding clues. This was too weird. 2 more cupcakes had disappeared. Now there were only 6. Someone must be playing tricks. But who? Pete and Gus did not know what to do. So now I'm going to go into kind of just telling you quickly mode. You've seen a bit of the story and it repeats itself. They continue looking for who is taking their cupcakes. So they find clues like these feet, and they're asking these different characters if it was them, and they're saying no. They continue trying to find who's taking their cupcakes because more keep going missing, but they can't find who. They start to look for more clues because more cupcakes keep going missing. And finally we see right here, it says, "Turtle said it wasn't me. It couldn't be. I've been swimming in the sea." Uh-oh, more cupcakes are missing. Come and see. Now they're all gone. But here we find some more clues. So I'm just pointing out to you right now using the illustrations, but your child would be reading the story all the way through. But for the sake of time, I'm just pointing out using the illustrations in the text. And then finally we see they found Grumpy Toad with icing on his face. Pete and Gus have solved the case. "I am so sorry. It was me. I could not stop with just one. I ate and ate till there were none." So we found who's taking the cupcakes. So instead of being upset with Grumpy Toad, Pete told Grumpy Toad they would give him another chance. He was so excited he did a happy dance. And here they host a cupcake party where Grumpy Toad made enough cupcakes for everyone. Okay, so now we're going to find the main idea. So if your child has read a story to you, the way to look for the main idea is by using the title as well as looking through the book. And you can do that very quickly. So the main idea is, what is the story all about? And you can ask that question, what is the story all about? So Pete the Cat and the Missing Cupcakes. That title does tell me that this story is all about Pete the Cat trying to find some missing cupcakes. And I'm going to confirm that by briefly just flipping through. Like I did earlier, we've made the cupcakes, they're missing. We're looking for clues. They find some clues, but they cannot find who has taken the cupcakes. Finally, they find that clue and figure out, oh my goodness, here's the clue that they found. Oh my goodness, it's Toad. But instead of being upset, they throw a big cupcake party. So you want to sum up the main idea in one sentence. So I would say this story is all about Pete the Cat trying to find missing cupcakes. I'm going to write that here in the center circle. Because throughout the entire story, what was going on was Pete the Cat was trying to find missing cupcakes. I want my sentence to be brief. I don't want it to have a whole lot of details in it, because the outside of the, or the larger circle, is where the details are going to go. Here's my main idea. Pete the Cat is looking for his missing cupcakes. You see that this sentence is a good length. It's not too long, and it fits nicely in my center circle. A main idea is not more than one, or maybe just two short sentences, but really at this point is not going to be more than one. As your child gets older, it might involve a little bit more information, but right now we're just looking for like the meat of what was this story all about. Right outside here is where the small details go. Details are the small parts of the story. One of those details is Pete the Cat makes cupcakes with duck. So I'm going to add that in there, and actually his friend's name is Gus. So one of my details is Pete and Gus make cupcakes. The whole story is not about just them making cupcakes. That's just a small part. Now we start out with they have 10 in the window. So they start with 10. That's an important detail. And then they start to go missing, right? Well, that's a part of my main idea, so I'm not going to repeat myself here. They do start to go missing, and they start to question, who is it? Here is a great detail. Using this illustration, as well as the text, they find sprinkles on the ground. That's another detail in the story. So they find sprinkles. They find sprinkles. That is a detail. Then another detail might be they ask Squirrel if it was him. I don't have to write all the details down. I'm looking for some of the major ones. Here's another detail. They find footprints. I'm going to use my prior knowledge, and I realize these are frog footprints. So I'm going to write that down. They find frog footprints. They found frog footprints. So now we're going to continue looking. So another detail might be they've asked Alligator if it was him, and he said no. But again, I'm looking for some of the major ones. Let's see. Oh, and finally, they discover who took their cupcakes, but Toad did. So that is a major detail right here. A big part is that Toad is the one that took the cupcakes. So I'm going to write that down. Toad took the cupcakes. The purpose of finding the main idea in details is to make sure that your child is understanding what they're reading. It's a way to check in with them, but it's also a strategy for them to use as they become more independent readers. Good readers understand what they are reading, and they can determine what the text or story is all about. And then, within that main idea, what it's all about, they do need to know important details. If your child did not understand that the cupcakes were going missing, they would have missed the majority or have been confused throughout this entire story. If your child did not understand that they were finding clues throughout this story, which were some of the details here, the footprints and the sprinkles, they would have become confused with the plot or understanding what was happening in the story. So it is important that we check in and make sure that our children are understanding the details and the main idea, what is happening throughout the entire story. Using this circle map is a great way to check in. If your child approaches this feeling overwhelmed by the writing, move to pictures. You could just draw the little cupcakes here. You could draw little sprinkles with crayons here. You could draw footprints with crayons here. So you can use images instead of writing if that's intimidating to your child. Also, feel free to help them write down that main idea to take some of the pressure off if you need to. And remember, you have a story that they're using. Let them use this story as they're finding the main idea and details, and then they can find some of those important words to take some of the pressure off of spelling if that's helpful, especially if it's longer words. Use this story while your child is using the circle map to identify the main idea and details. All right, Cultivating Literacy families, thanks for listening. Best of luck reading and using this strategy, main idea and details. Thanks so much.